I'm going to show how to sit there and unbrick one of these WDR 610 routers. So right now I pulled the screws out of it. I'll take it apart. 1 second. So now I got it all apart here, and I got to take these 6 different antenna wires off. Right there. Be right back. Now that I have the 6 antennas off, I have the router turned over, and right here on the corner is the serial access console port that I will solder the serial to USB connector to. So now I'm going to solder these wires onto the serial port so I can get the connection. So now I got it soldered. Sit there and put it through the case because I'm going to leave this as permanent. My wires ended up getting as red, space, green, black. So it was, there's a total of, 5 wires, 5 ports there. But what you're going to do is you sit there and check what your wires are. Get your multimeter out here so you can sit there and see which wires are what. But you can get your wires and and test them. And mine came out to being red was ground, green was receive, and black was transmit. And it went red, space, green, black, space. So that's what you got. Now, you're going to want to sit there and connect it to console. So this is what you're going to do. So you're going to get your serial to, or USB to serial converter. I'm using an octopus box. And I used one of the cables that came in, one of the 5,000 cables that came in the box. So that's what I use to cut it. And then I'm just going to sit there and open up putty like so. I'm going to use my serial COM that my box is on. Man, I wish this would focus. It says autofocus. Whoa, there we go. Now it works. You go to put in your COM, and then you're going to sit there, put in your baud rate, which is going to be 11520. And then you're going to want to sit there and go to serial and change the flow to none. So then go open, and you have your port open. So what you're wanting to do is now you're going to want to turn on your router. Mine's plugged in already, so I'll plug it back in, and you'll see, bam, it'll sit there and start the boot up. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cancel this, because mine, if you look, it's going to be frozen on architecture code Broadcom, because the software that I put on it has the kernel for the newer Broadcom processor, not the older Broadcom processor. So I'll restart this again. Push Control C. And there we go. There's prompt. That's what we know. So I'll be right back. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to load up your TFTP program. And you're going to want to put it to the IP server address that your router's on. Default is usually 192.168.1.1. You're going to want to load your file. That's going to be for your router, your OEM factory file. I'd put it on 99. It doesn't really matter because it's going to do it real fast. And then you're going to want to put this in your boot prompt for your bootloader. Load, raw, address, and then all that stuff. I'll put that in the description below. you're going to also want to sit there and have your cable hooked up for your Ethernet to one of your Ethernet ports. So after you have all that hooked up, your Ethernet port and everything like that, you're going to want to sit there and run this command. It's going to be looking for this thing. You're going to push upgrade. Then it will continue and it'll sit there and do the upgrade flash for your router. You got to wait for that to finish. When you come back here, it's going to sit there and tell it that it's successfully written the flash. And this is what you're going to want to look for, the bytes. So right here you have 7578624. And yours, my bad, 7578624. And yours will probably be different, if not the same. But what you want to do is get that number. And what you want to do with that is go to a decimal to hex converter calculator. And you're going to want to put that in. So you can get this code right here. This is your hex result from that. And you're going to want to copy that for this next command. So the next command is you're going to want to run is this. I'll have this in the description below too. It's going to be the ctheader memory size, and then where the size is, that's where you're going to put your hex format right there. And then the rest is going to be stock 0x0807 A60B flash1.trx, and then you're just going to push enter and it will start to program it. This will take a second. And then it's done. All you gotta do now is push GO, which means go. That's gonna load the file system at that starting program. And there it goes. There is the router, and it's booting up successfully. Rebooting because it had to wipe the there it goes. And it's successfully unbricked. And this is console COM1 in putty, an octopus box. It's blinking away. And now if I go to my web browser, type in 192 168.1.1. It's going to ask me for the password and everything because it's just the default. So default for linksys is admin. Okay, who knows what it is, but it's working.